so easy to get in D&D.
Yeah.
Like I am the one, like if I show up at your D&D 5 game, I will insist on using assists as much as possible, which is an official rule.
Yeah, we did
until
that.
The point where GMs will start telling me to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Because assisting in D&D 5 is so stupidly good. Because it's automatic. It's if someone assists you, it's automatic advantage. There's no die rolling or anything. If I can assist you, you get advantage. And advantage is amazingly great.
We did that a lot in our 5e game that we were doing on Sunday before, and Thane in particular was like constantly using his familiar to just say, my familiar assists me. It's a character that's under my control, so everything I do is assisted.
Why would
it's perfectly valid and worked, and it was good.
Well, when you say work, it's like
busted.
Advantage on an ability check is really, really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
All right,
125.
I'm not on camera, am I?
No.
There it is.
There.
So one of the new things about Windows 11 that is kind of cool is that even though you can't move the taskbar, you can have the taskbar only have apps that are in that window.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of one taskbar that has 20 of them and you click on it, you start guessing which monitor that was in.
All right. So we are alive and good to go.
Cool. All right.
Pet the cat.
Gotta pet the
Do
cat
it for
sometime.
the internet.
Yes. She's like, I'm ready. Here for it.
All right.
I'm still here.
Okay, so you guys have decided that you're going to take the road, the Via Salutis south to the river, and then try to catch a boat up to the, I guess you would, hold on, let me grab my thing. So I guess the idea would be like around here, or maybe if you wanted to go down to, I guess this would probably be quicker. Catch a boat, head like here, head up to the monastery, and then up to this area, and then cut north towards, I guess, are you guys going to White Ridge at Mount Grimart, the Baron's town? Or are you headed straight towards the, I guess there's two goals around here, right? One of them is to get the sword into the Children of the Shade. The other one is to deal with the Necromancer circle up north, right?
Right. It makes the most sense to stop by Mount Grimard first because it's on the way there, and we want to make sure that we know the lay of the land ahead, have our provisions this time, and don't get lost in the mountains without any food or shelter.
Right. Yeah.
Because that was terrible. We shouldn't do it again.
No, I think you guys avoiding the mountain is not a bad plan, especially since we're into the wintry months and things are just going to get worse from here on out. Okay. Well, so you begin your voyage. Let me move the token. Okay. Get you on the Via Salutis. Baron Ashton bids you farewell and safe journey. Doc, you can see Colette, or I guess you guys can see Colette basically standing on the ramparts of the fort and watching you as you go, saying a silent prayer for the light to guide you and your path. And you set off down the road back towards Rinaldi lands. And
As close as we dare venture.
Right? We're going to do another D%. I'm going to give this one 50-50.
Did they decide
93.
to come up the road?
Okay. Yeah, no. You don't pass any, I'm going to say you don't pass any Triskellion guard presence on your way, or, your good old friends, the Chroma Bandits, on your way down the road. You make it to which river is this? The West Granvert. Let's see. I suppose this is, I think, it's unclear who owns this at this point. But there are ferries that are operating that are going along their business as usual, regardless of who is running them. They're still the ferrymen that run this area, and they still ask for payments, but you can try to find passage if you would like.
Well, at least we don't have to cross that river. We need to just go over to the other one.
Oh, right. I guess there's no reason for you guys to... Yeah, you can cut across to the monastery. Let's move you up here. Okay. All right. I'll remind you that the Pelaginesi Monastery is sort of a squat stone building at the foot of the walls of Calabria, a dizzying palisade that rise up off of the northern banks of the Lyreford. And I guess at this point, the Grandvert. And it is nestled in the fork of where these rivers meet. I was going to say diverge, but they go from highland to lowland. So it's really where they're converging into the Grandvert, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are there's towns and there are boatyards all over this area. All of them sort of seeming like with the monastery basically as the crown jewel in the center of this. If you could call it that, it's not a very impressive building. However, you can see that there seems to be activity at the monastery from across the river. You can see that several tents have been set up, and it looks like there's some to-do going over there. In the evenings, you can see multiple bonfires set up around the outsides, and the great plumes of smoke coming out of their chimneys. Passage around here, finding good rates at ferries is probably pretty simple, since it's sort of a nexus point for river travel, at least from the north. And let's see, what did we decide? It's 2 denarii a square for travel. Am I making that up? 1.
I don't remember, but there should be a book reference for that one, actually.
Yeah, I don't think you're making that up. I thought we would just buy. We were talking about actually trying to buy a boat.
Oh, you could also just buy your own boat.
I mean, we could just buy our own boat.
Okay, then.
I want to, again, it's funny. You're the only one that ever mentioned buying a boat. The guy who has all the money never said a word the whole conversation.
Wow, that's a question of Connor. I mean, I would suggest, Connor, you've bought wagons in the past. We bought our own boat. We could sail it upriver, park it, go deal with the... actually, we don't even have to... I'm not even sure we even need a boat, because we really want to go to Mount Grimart and then to this horrible thing. We could just start trekking through the mountains and not care.
Yeah, that's what we did last time. We just need to go through the mountains here.
Yep. And yes, I am willing to risk finding a contact for Children of the Shade in Mount Grimart. I am willing to risk it.
Okay. I mean, a boat would basically cover you this far.
Yeah,
you'd still have a little bit of time.
The problem is, this over here is the walls. You can't dock and then go north.
Right. Last time we had to have someone actually guiding us up around it.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
we should just climb the mountains.
The walls of Calabria, would that be like the cliffs of Dover? And
It's a lot like the cliffs of Dover, only instead of the cliffs of Dover overlooking the ocean, imagine a bunch of cliffs looking over a river. It's kind of like half a canyon.
Right, so don't want to try and climb that.
Yeah, the implication is that there's something different between the rock here and the rock here, because this is lowland and this is highland, and it's just a bunch of steep cliffs that you stare at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, there is a path behind the monastery up the wall. There is a barely ladder that you climb up 18 stories or something, and you can get up there. So I think they do toll it. They do ask for a donation if you're going to use the ladder. So you could get up here and go straight here. If you didn't want to do that, though, you were right. You can't go this way and then over. Every time you've approached, you have to approach this way. You'd have to go up here and either through Vasquez, which you guys are avoiding, or Actually, Vasquez would be up here. Through Septicus's stand would probably be the most direct route.
Yeah, and if there's still hostility between the Doloro and the Avoirdupois, the Doloro might try to control the river, because when you're on the top,
Well, that's what the purple line is.
Yeah, the last time you guys were there, you saw that this river kind of... I should be remembering this stuff. This river is kind of a no man's land, because the Doloro have set up archers, and any ship that goes up and down here just gets rained arrows on.
But the Avoirdupois haven't pushed past the grove yet.
So. Yeah, so they're securing that, and in their heyday, the Chevronnets like to hang around here and do the same thing. So, and we would be neither, so both of them would be raining on us.
Also, not a great idea to try and push through Septicus' stand.
Well, no, we go through Grimart.
No. You're talking about getting to Grimart.
Getting to Grimart, you're going to have to go in.
Stand would not be a great idea to.
No, it's definitely it's of strategic importance, so they would probably have people there.
No, I mean that it's an unholy wood.
It's also
that too, but yes.
I'm just saying, you probably don't want to trek through an unholy wood.
Yeah, we're just going to trek through the mountains. This is where we can go ahead and buy some food. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. I would get like 3 weeks worth of food.
Of course, the question is, are they more carnivorous or are they more herbivorous?
Herbivorous.
I think the other pressing question is, do they have it to give? Because the last couple of times we've been there, they didn't have anything to give.
Right, which is why we stocked up ahead of time, or assumedly that would be why.
We should have stocked up when we were along the river.
Yeah, which is where we're kind of at now. So you would have opportunity. I'm sure there would be, like I said, it's a trade route. There's probably plenty of goods going by that you could.
Yeah, this is where Gar would shine, because Gar, you're a master negotiator, right?
I am a negotiator.
Yeah. So, yeah, we would rely on your mind, negotiation, and diplomacy to get us.
Yes. And what is haggling is like, you can bump down the price by.
Yeah, haggling is, if it's cheaper average, you just take a discount. If it's something like big, like this is a big deal. This is, what is this? 3 weeks times 20 people. This is like 420, and some of it be carnivore. This is when you bother haggling. But like, we have that rule in there if it's just a discount, because I don't know, some player might insist on rolling for each 117 items they're buying today. I don't know anyone who would do that.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, no, that's the bonus for haggling. That's why I got it. I am a procurer.
I don't know if Connor wants to assist, because I know Connor's pretty good at this.
Well, I could assist, but would that wreck Adverse's cover of not knowing me?
I mean, you don't have to say you're a noble to assist.
You'd be a random. You wouldn't throw your nobility in. But
I wouldn't do that.
I mean, it's one of the hangers on. He's got like, there's like 9 guys here.
Say my nobility doesn't come into my negotiation role either, so I don't know why.
Right, I'll just roll my negotiation in.
And the doctor and I could probably throw in, because we could at least tell you where the worst deals were and not go there.
Right, basically do the canvassing for you here.
You actually have negotiation?
I do. I have plenty of it.
So we spend like a montage doing that. Does that sound good?
Yeah. I'm just looking up the ration prices. I don't know. I can't find them. I mean, I guess
the food's in there.
Right. I look at this pretty frequently. It's food and drink.
We just did this. Yeah, it's
106.
It's 1 dinar.
Travel grub is 1/2 if you're herbivore, and 1 dinar if you're carnivore.
Oh, it's cheaper than I thought.
Right. And then we decided how many are you going for? Like, what would the total price be before haggling?
21 times the number of people.
Yeah.
Which is 20 right now, so...
Yep.
200 and 400.
Oh, I'm useless. I didn't even roll a 1, so I can't even use favorite use. This is the second time today I've done that.
Well, I mean, I had
420
anyway.
Okay. That's a lot of negotiation dice. And a 12. So I just can't beat it. So, but let's roll anyway and see how many successes you get. We'll do 2d6. Yep, 3. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. That's excellent. So we'll give you find a half off rations, which means getting all of the rations that you said. 21 days of rations for a group of 20 would normally be 420 and would become 210 denarii. So who's paying?
I have
1, 2, 3
27
nodded.
million in liquid cash, but
I mean, that's one of the problems is I only have about 70 dinar. So unless we have wealth that we can liquidate, we're going to have to tap into Connor's family fortune.
and of course we all know, like in the spy movies, that they'll be able to track this transaction.
Well, yeah, but we're leaving. And,
I always give up all of my stuff to try and pay people. That's why I never have anything of value.
Right.
I own nothing.
I have these 2 very expensive items. How much are they worth? 6 dinar a piece, but they are listed as expensive.
Yeah, I mean, Connor, you're the only one who has any money. We're going to have to tip your hand.
Right, I'll exhaust my wealth.
Are the Dollar
Right.
mad at you?
The
I'm
dollar.
having a paw.
Yeah, right. They're mad at you because of your
But coin has
nationality,
a
but
way
not
of
specifically.
Yeah,
coin has a way of and also like we're talking with the various merchants along the river. We might be talking to some of the Triskellion people on the way here.
Right.
It's also
And
like
again, just-
wide sweeping gestures. Like all of Triskellion's pissed off at you apparently, but not all the Dolaro are pissed off at you.
And not all the merchants are pissed off at you. It's like your gold is still good.
Right? There's one lord in the Dolaro that fucking hates you. I think you're unknown to the rest of the Dolaro.
Right.
Well, except
Right.
for those people in Bruges who might remember you from the wanted poster that De La Vega put up.
But that doesn't really carry a whole lot of weight outside of bounty hunters. So
Well, also De La Vega's dead.
yes.
Last poor De La Vega, now you're dead.
I'm just saying, that was a while back, and then your price went down since then,
So-
and then it went skyrocketing up in the air.
Yeah.
So what are y'all doing for food?
I mean, it
Purchasing
sounds
on
like
wealth.
tapping wealth, buying a huge lot of travel rations.
Yep. Just because foraging for 20 people is not going to be plausible up there.
No, not along the route that you have chosen, which is mostly, I think, taking the river. I guess, actually, did we decide this? Maybe we didn't. Are you guys going straight there, up over the wall, or the Palaginese?
I think maybe this time we're taking the wall.
Okay. Well, easy enough to negotiate transport over to the monastery with as part of your deal there, so I will let that just go. You guys approach the monastery. Remind me, I think you knew a friendly, I think Thor, right, was a friendly...
I think so, yeah. There's a friendly monk there, and I had some fun drinking with him and stealing the wine in the first place and all that. And I think they even recognized me as having a saintly aura. So it'd be good to meet up with him and drink again.
He was a goat Pelaginese named Thor, to bond over casks of sacramental wine. I like it.
And as you see, as part of our deal, I got this nice little cask of wine to pay you back for last time.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Okay, so as you approach, as I said, there looks to be quite a large number of people already staying at the monastery. The monastery normally has beds and housing for travelers, but apparently they are full up tonight and overflowing a little bit because there are tents that have been set up outside. As you are crossing over, you can see that many of these tents are occupied by boars, although they seem to be, many of whom seem to be well armed. It takes some time to get into the monastery proper as you navigate around this sort of campsite that's been set up. And once you do, you greet Thor, but your friendly, boisterous colleague seems very glum and dour. And even though you can tell he recognizes you, Doctor, he does not make any overtures of friendship towards you.
Not even for this cask of wine.
You can see his eyes well up with tears at the sight of the wine, but he gives you the standard greeting, welcome, traveler, pilgrims to the Pelagennese Monastery. Unfortunately, though we normally have for you all, we are full up. We could offer you safe harbor in the fields and the garden outside. And any who wish to join us in prayer in this evening's ceremony are more than to take part in our humble stew and prayer session, essentially.
Right. Well, I can see you're exhausted. I suppose the refugee crisis here is none better than it is further west.
He lets out a chuckle. You want to give me an insight roll? We haven't had one of those.
Yeah, this would be inquiry.
Yeah.
What attribute?
Mind. Let's do mind and inquiry. And do you have danger sense?
Yes, I do.
And throw a d12 on that roll.
He's got to pull a knife on me. I
Oh,
rolled 3.
doctor!
Okay, I have knack with inquiry, fortunately, so I'm going to
Good,
just re-roll
good.
all that and get it out.
Yeah,
There we go. 3
much
successes.
better.
That looks much nicer. And 8 if it's versus like his lie as he's like pulling out the dagger or whatever.
No. It's nothing like that. You're under no danger from Thor. However, Thor feels that his life may be in danger. You can tell that something is bothering your goat companion, especially when he sees Connor. You can see that he's, in addition to basically being kind of glum and tense, he's also anxious or nervous that Connor is here. And you think that he, when he tells you that they're full up, you can tell he's kind of trying to insinuate that maybe you shouldn't spend the night here.
Right. So I'll go ahead and I'll nod along and say, "Oh, we should join each other in prayer sometime." And of course, I'll nudge Sir Connor and say, like, there might be someone here for you, so be careful. Maybe we should just go ahead and move on today.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that it's you've arrived here, and after your haggling, we're getting to evening time yet again. So night is falling. You could scale the cliffs. It might be a little bit challenging in the dark, but you could do it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you could proceed into the monastery and see what exactly is waiting in there for you.
If I could, since I
Mhm.
got my 3 inquiry, let's say I'll go and pray with Thor here, and I'll go ahead and use that as the pretext for getting like 2 more answers out of him, which is like who precisely and how many.
Interesting. Okay, so when you okay, yeah. So when you propose that you pray, he will glance and say, well, the main, I don't know, chamber, the prayer room is rather full right now of guests, but we could probably squeeze one in, and he will lead you in and beat you down. And it's true, sort of the main worship chamber in here has been kind of converted into a sort of we'll say rec room. And you can tell that pews have been pushed aside and tables have been set up, and there are loud boors who are feasting and drinking sacramental wine they shouldn't be drinking. And he brings you to a corner and he bows his head in prayer and begins to whisper to you. He says, there is a scoundrel has taken up a residence here. He's brought a small army with him. We're not sure what exactly his designs are. He is the son of a powerful baron to the north, and well, ever since he's come, he's made our lives hell. We're not sure exactly what he's looking for, but we know that word of the bounty on your colleague has. I guess, did they know you were traveling with Connor? We're gonna say they.
Last time they did, he
assume.
definitely did, so he can put 2 and 2 together, I'm sure.
Yeah. So he's like, they don't know this visiting noble and his army they're bad news, and they're the kind of people who would not hesitate to start a fight. And he knows that you and yours are kind of in a precarious situation traveling around here. So that's where a lot of it comes from. He says, like, I don't know what will be if our monastery will survive this. All we can do is keep our heads down and pray that they leave some food for us when they do finally decide to move on. But you need take no part in this.
Well, I'm sorry to see that you've fallen on such poor times with such brutes. I do think I recognize who this is, and it would in fact be best to stay as far out of his way as you can. Perhaps let his men take the blow instead. He's easy to rise to anger, so be careful.
Exactly. They've yet to inquire about our, winter stores, which are, remain sealed, but I fear it's only a matter of time. If hopefully the light will guide us. The Pelaginese say they are a sect of Salumer, right? Right, I think they're like the interfaith sects group, but they still believe in like the light.
It's been a bit, but last time, yeah, the Pelaginese taken everyone. I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones who are interested in. Gosh, I can't remember. It's just been so long since I've read. I go check out the book again because I have it open. So I'll give you an answer on that.
Why not?
In a minute.
I think the term is synergesis, but I don't know what that means.
The synergists are the ones who want to combine in traditions. Arpedulia, Orcmency. There we
Yeah,
go.
the
We're all children of
syncretics-
Providence.
Yeah, so the syncretics. Which one are we concerned about?
The Pelaginese.
Oh, the Pelaginesians. Yeah, that's actually
They're
the
ascetics. They
weird
do believe in
monastic-
animism, pancreation, veneration.
Are they still Salumer worshippers? That was the
They
question
are
I had.
still
Yes.
technically Salumeres. They're syncretics. They're sort of have this mishmash where Lutherists and there are also a path of divine
Mm-hmm.
because they recognize that holiness exists in all things. It makes a lot more sense if you're one of them, but they are syncretic.
Mhm.
So they just combine them.
Right. Yeah.
So they are technically not banned like monophysites are.
And they're probably more welcome in the Doloro territory than others.
They're pretty much
Right.
the only ones who welcome the Doloro territory because they're technically also pagans.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're pretty much welcome. It's hard to describe it. They're tolerated here, and other people are going to give them a funny look. I mean,
Mhm.
I hate to say this, but it's kind of like, technically Muslim, Judaism, and Christianity, it's all Abrahamic religion. It's all the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Right. I mean, ironically, the place they'd probably be the least accepted would be the strictly religious parts of Vortepois, where,
Mhm.
right, like everyone's like, okay, these guys are
Sure.
holy, except for these very holy people who are like, these guys are bullshit.
Yeah. And they're not, but also there's also political reasons because the Church of Salmera says, well, we'll give these guys money because they say they believe in us, and we'll
Mhm.
sponsor their monastery and treat them as a capitular order, which is also important because there's the pastorals that are not too far from here. It's also political leaning. It's kind of like, okay, we don't necessarily agree with everything, but this is better than pagans who defy us at every step of the way.
Yeah, right.
So once again, Ironclaw, is a land of contrasts.
A land of contrast. Context is important. Okay. So the question facing the group now, you've found that the Pelaginesi monastery is currently kind of a hostile place. Maybe not a place you want to set up camp because this nobleman has brought basically an army with him and is camping out there. But night is falling and scaling the mountain might be difficult for those of you without wings in the dark. So it's a risk you would take.
I've clearly missed something.
I'm sorry, yes, you just came back. Right, okay, so we learned from Thor, you guys are still outside. The doctor went into the monastery with Thor, found that it had been turned into kind of like a makeshift banquet hall for this group of rabble-rousers. And Thor informed you that the son of a powerful baron up north has taken residence here, and they're basically eating the Pelaginesi out of house and home. The monks don't really have much that they can do against this force, so they're just trying to be hospitable and hoping that they will move on before they eat all of their food.
Well, that wouldn't be the young Milgard, would it?
It would possibly be him.
Oh, I gotta go
It
up
most
there.
certainly is in the doctor's opinion, so he will tell you such.
Oh, I gotta go up there then.
I would highly advise not to. Anything that keeps him away from home while we go to home would be all the better.
Oh yeah, well he's not. Clearly, you don't know young Milgard.
I'm clearly not up on the Bilgar family.
Yeah. I doubt me going up there was gonna make him go home. But
Right,
I've got
he hates you, Adris. I mean, he doesn't have like recourse to, if it is him, he's presumably still hunting for the people that were involved in Colette's escape. He doesn't count you among them, but he does count all of the other people among them.
Yeah, no, his hate for me doesn't register on the same wavelengths as the other people. His hate for me is more like he showed me up in front of his father.
Right.
I was part of the crew.
So,
I was part of the crew.
To you, it's personal.
Yeah.
Or to him, his hatred of you is personal. His hatred of the group is purely business.
Yeah, but I've got a whole...
Even so then, Gar, under that condition, I would say his anger for not finding us might be misplaced onto you, combined with his anger at you already for whatever personal reasons there are.
This is delicious. I have to go up there now.
You're going to start a brawl in a holy place, and I must firmly advise against it.
You clearly misread me, Doctor. I'll tell you what, I'm going to leave everybody else down here.
Mm-hmm.
And when you guys leave, if I haven't met back up with you yet, just leave without me. But
right, we're going to be going ahead and camping a mile up the road here. So.
Good. This is the very first time that we've ever parted ways, and you've told me where you're going to be. We're already making advances.
It's
we've
gross.
Come so far together,
Right. But I have to go up there.
So go ahead. Let's see what you do.
Okay, so yeah. And it seems, I guess I should ask just to make sure, Anushka and Connor, you are going to take the high road and go camp a ways away, right? While Adris pulls this stunt. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
It makes sense in the context. I just wanted to make sure everyone was on the same page. So, Adris, when you stroll into the monastery, you can see it looks like a site of debauchery on par with the halls of Emil's... Emil is the Baron. Devin's father.
No, Emil is a horse that lives far to the south of here.
Baron Emil. Oh, was that the name of the? Okay.
Emil is the Avotobar soldier, the mayor that has the farm down south.
Oh, no, Amelie. That's Amelie. Sorry.
Oh, well, so you never gave me Baron Milgard's first name, so in my notes, he's just Baron Milgard of White Ridge.
Yeah, right. So that's my bad. I guess I often give people full names and then I forget one of them and I just use the other one. So, but yeah, so the Baron Meldgard, his son was Devin. And sure enough, you do spot Devin seated like a lord at the head of one of these tables. He seems he seems less drunk than everyone around him, and he's just sort of glancing around in a generally foul mood. He's got the look of someone who is on the verge of hatching a plot to start a fight, to just like beat someone up, to take offense when none was offered.
And then I appear.
Indeed you do.
Ah, Sir Milgard, it's been some time.
His eyes narrow, but then you see a hint of a smile cross his mouth as he says, "You, what are you doing here?" And he gets to his feet.
Oh, just on one of my many treks. I was thinking of seeing your father once more. Just got done negotiating a deal to help him take care of some iron mines, in fact.
Okay, there's a silence falls over the table as all of his rowdy, partiers realize that business is going down, and he glares at you, and he says, well, you would do well to stay away from my father. He does not need the likes of you whispering, whispering ideas into his ear. He's quite capable on his own, and does not need the help of a charlatan like yourself. And he says, "That's right, I said charlatan."
I wash away the charlatan. I don't even. He says, "Yes, I said that." And I was like, "I don't care." Yeah, in fact, the last time I gave him a thought that he didn't agree with, he said so and dismissed it. He clearly is a man of his own making. I don't see why you think he requires any of my thoughts. I am merely here to help, much like I did when I helped get you out of ransom.
Indeed, you always seem to know how to get yourself out of trouble, isn't that right? And how is it that you did manage to escape your captors, that wench's pitiful band of heroes? It seems interesting that you just gave them the slip. Do you know where their whereabouts are now? Did you tell that to my father? I'm sure he'd be interested to hear.
He mentioned that, what was she? That boar priestess. He didn't seem to care very much about your captors. Last I talked to him. And no, it's just, I guess it's worth having a family willing to pay your bounty, because, ransom, your ransom.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems fairly easy to get out of most mishaps with the proper lubrication of dinar.
When you say this, you can feel that the crowds around you are kind of like turning in your favor. There's some chuckles, and people are, they're drunk revelers, but you have this kind of natural ease, and it's warming the crowd to you. So some people are, breaking their stoic demeanor and chuckling and like raising a mug to this pretty glib response to being taken hostage by, bandits and such. And this just angers Devin more. He slams the table with his fist, and all of the mugs jump. And he says, "That's it. I've had enough of your smugness. You may have endeared yourself to my father, but we are not friends." And let's see, what would he say here? You have caused me disgrace upon disgrace, and I will suffer it no longer. If you are truly a noble, then draw your sword. Fight me. Fight me honorably, and let's see if your steel can back up that silver tongue of yours. And he kicks back his chair and draws a sword.
I feel like during his talking, I was like looking around at all these mugs, like I'm about to reach out to grab one to take a drink, and he says, "If you're truly a noble, draw your sword." And I look down, and I don't have any swords on me.
Oh no!
It's like,
But you have a gun.
No, actually, I don't. Remember, I gave that away. Triskellion.
You might have a main coach.
Nope.
He has
I
been
count that
shedding
upon the
weapons.
swords. Yeah, no, I constantly
Hey.
giving them away constantly. I believe
Wouldn't
you'll
one of your
find that.
henchmen or followers give you their sword?
No, I mean, I used to give my weapons to them. So no, they haven't been giving my weapons.
Well, they have weapons. Some of them are doppelsoldiers.
No, they're with you guys. They've gone with you guys.
So you're alone.
Oh, really? You're alone?
I'm alone.
Oh my god. Okay, I
alone.
didn't realize you had none of your people with
You're
you.
alone. Not even your alchemist is with you. You're alone and with
Alchemist got left behind in the Baron.
We didn't
Yeah.
warn him
No
ahead of time,
weapon.
so we're seeing what's happening.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, this has got even more interesting.
You
I was gonna
want to
say
play back the scenario now that you realize I'm alone?
no. I mean, I think it would play out probably the same. I was thinking that at some point, some of your followers would try to insinuate themselves between you and the danger, but they're not there. So
yeah. Well, then if the other guy, if you point out you have no sword, the other guy who might want to kill you in honorable duel, he might give you one of his swords.
I anticipate that. I think I'm just gonna grab the mug, take a drink, and say, Sir Milgard, I'm not your enemy.
Melgard is furious, and you can see that this sort of homicidal rage is taking him over, and you can see reflected in the faces of the people around him. They're starting to realize this too, and looking very nervous. They're not going to betray their lord if they can avoid it, but also him cutting down a nobleman in cold blood, an unarmed noble, probably wouldn't be very good for any of them. But they all look kind of too afraid to get in the way. He has a history of harming those who displease him. So the question is, I'm not your enemy. He looks about ready to charge, like just lower his head and just gore you with his tusks. Yeah, what do you want to say or do?
I feel like in this situation, and I know I have a history of this, and I implore you not to think ill of me because this is not what I'm up to right now.
Okay.
If he looks like he's going to lower his head to gore me, I feel like I'm going to turn around and turn my back on him.
Oh.
And the move I'm going to make is that I'm going to raise the mug to the rest of the room and like continue with my cheerful play to the crowd in the meta of the knowledge that I know he's probably going to gore me in the back.
Interesting. Okay. So I don't know if this is your intention, but what it reads to me, just trying to simulate the scene, is your best shot here is his own men interposing themselves and trying to save your life.
I think it would probably be a presence kind of role, right?
Something like that. Presence or leadership. It's not really like a rallying moment, so it's more like a general charisma moment. So presence might be the way to go with that one. Like will and presence probably.
This would be bad. So I have a 2.
No, you have no presence.
You have no presence.
You have no presence. Okay.
Nothing else you can claim either, I suppose.
No, I used my personality for my gang of irregulars.
Is this how Adra's guard dies?
I hope not. I really wasn't planning on dying here, but I do anticipate that is a possible scenario that could happen.
Okay. Well, let's see.
I also anticipate getting beaten down. I anticipated that. Dying, I hope, is not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. We'll see what we will see. We'll see in a second because he is going to use a charge attack. And I should have pulled up his stats.
In which
I always
case
forget
I could
to do
still
that.
try to dodge.
Right? Here he is.
Which I'm not also great at either. I'm not a fighter, as I've pointed out many times. Also,
yeah,
I think it's well played that I've given my weapons away at every opportunity. I'm not a fighter. It was miraculous that I showed him up that one time by throwing a dagger. And my dice came up. All my dice came up great, and all of his came up shit.
Exactly. It was just dumb, stupid luck, and it kind of, yeah. Let's see. Tusks. Damage +1 impaling. Okay.
I guess
All
for the
right.
purposes of being fully discreet and honest, I do have daggers on me. They're not obvious because they're concealable.
Right. Okay. So he's just charging. He lets out a cry and he just charges with his tusks. He's rolling 2d10. He has a brawling die. So
I will attempt to dodge.
Oh, that's 1, which is a 9.
I will never beat a 9 though.
And that's a 3. So you're gonna take at least 1.
I got a 4.
Okay. So that's 1, and it's impaling unless you retreat, kind of like rolling with the roll. So I assume you do that. There's no reason why you couldn't.
Yeah, just knock me over. I will fall
Okay.
forwards.
And it's damage plus 1, so that'll be 2 damage coming in. Right. You soak 1 of the 2 damage. So it's a cut. He's drawn blood, but it's not anything too serious, and he knocks you down, and there's a gasp and a shout from the people in the room. And at this point, they're going to pull him back. You hear whispers of one of them saying, Sir, to attack an unarmed, blooded noble, sir. Just control yourself. Another one picks you up, like tries to help you to your feet, and then you can see as you're recovering or you're taking stock of your injuries that this soldier is trying to press a sword hilt into your hands. He's trying to arm you, basically.
I firmly grasp
before this is illegal.
I firmly
Exactly.
grasp his shoulders to hold myself up, thus being unable to grab whatever he's pushing into me.
Fair enough. The boar whispers and he says, Sir, I the Lord will surely kill you. Arm yourself.
You think he would go that far?
When
Blatant
he's-
murder of a foreign noble on neutral territory?
Oh, good sir, you know not my lord. When he's in a
fact,
mood.
I guess truly, and I turn half shoulder. He doesn't take after his father in any respect.
Oh my goodness. Okay. This is exactly the kind of thing where if we were playing vampire, I'd have you a social attack to damage his willpower. That's a cold
Roll to
strike.
resist frenzy.
Exactly. Yep.
There you
Okay.
go.
So let's see here. I feel like this might shame him. And I think this is definitely a case for a will roll.
Maybe
Interesting.
this could be negotiation versus a resistance to negotiate.
Or maybe I'm gossiping?
It does have kind of a tinge
I'm
of
just trying to go
gossip
into the normal
to it.
actions that are used in the situation.
But yeah, I feel like this is. I feel like negotiate might be the closest one.
Like I said,
In terms of like slinging, insults or trying
I'm
to shame
slinging
him.
insults indirectly via other people, which seems like to me to be a gossip of some sort. I don't know.
I mean, listen, on its face, I'm like, no. But the more I think about it, I think this is probably the best situation to make that case in of all time. I would not normally give you gossip in this case, but I think that in this specific instance, it might apply. So I would let you use your gossip here. Just this once, you can use your massive gossip roll to try to stun this guy into inaction.
So, people are drinking around here. Pointedly, I've grabbed a mug myself. Carousing?
So I am gonna put my foot down on carousing because I feel like the implication is that you are drinking with people, you're manipulating people who are drunk
Are they not?
into being more
Sounds like
open and
they are
friendly.
drunk.
I mean, they are. Like, he's drunk too. Everybody in here is drunk except for you. I just think that I feel like the spirit of carousing is manipulating people who, well, actually, shit, maybe not.
Yeah, the gift itself doesn't say anything about people being friendly.
Being friendly.
It's
just,
any place alcohol is flowing freely. Is he drunk?
he is. He's
Then
just
you
very,
get-
very
And
mad.
you get carousing. If someone's intoxicated, you get an
Okay.
extra D12 on them. Now, the next
Okay,
question is, does he have carousing?
Let me see. I don't believe. Oh, but he might. He is kind of a dilettante, a spoiled.
Yeah, do dilettantes get carousing? I'm asking Theta.
No, they don't.
No, I had to buy it.
Okay, then yeah,
Then-
there are
okay.
classes that get carousing. He doesn't have it.
He
So,
doesn't
yeah,
have
no,
it.
He can't hold his liquor, whereas Gar is very used to dealing with drunk assholes.
Man of the people.
Right. So yeah, so there you go. So take your carousing D12 as well. This guy is rolling. What is?
I mean, we called it carousing because we want to call it the skill of dealing with drunk assholes.
Right.
I do not have a great track record with my D4s, apparently.
Okay, this guy's just gonna roll a flat will, which is still a D10. This still could go in his favor, but it does not. All right. Your sidelong comment seems to stop him in his tracks. He has a moment of clarity where he realizes one way or another all of this is going to go back to his father, and maybe the one thing that this spoiled jerk fears is his father's judgment. So he steadies himself and he wipes the blood from his tusk. And he says, what does he say now? He says, by the rights of the land, I should have you killed, cur. I will give you this one chance to spare yourself. Leave now and consider it a mercy for the service you have done to my family. But next time we meet shall be will be the day you breathe your last breath.
I feel like I'll stand up right. I'll roll the shoulder of the side he gored, because clearly I did try to dodge, so he probably got one side over the other. I'll roll that shoulder. I'll make a slow walk towards the door, mug outstretched in that way that you see like in old in French films, say, out to the side. And I'll gulp it back, toss the mug, turn back towards the group, and I say, "Very well then, I shall tell your mother you said hello." And then I will back out the door.
Whoa,
Ouch.
Jesus. Man, not making friends today. All right.
Had to
Now
go
the
up
only
there.
question is he going to restrain himself, or is he charging after Gar here?
Yes, charge at
He's
me
about
near
to
the
commit
cliff
an
edge.
actual crime.
That is, I mean, yeah, he basically...
Does Gar have his full career yet? He might actually enrage this guy.
I mean, this guy is... right, so... This enrage would be you lose all sense and then you're at the point where you just attack blindly.
Well, that's Berserk. The blindly little add-on is Berserk. If
Got
you're
it,
enraged, you don't have to attack your friends blindly.
Right, but if you're Berserk, you just attack anyone or anything you can get your hands on.
Yeah. In
Gotcha,
fact, if you're enraged, you still have enough of your mind left that if the only people around you are your friends, you can attack the air.
I like it. Rah! Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you want to make a roll address. I'm just roll
What,
versus
you want
just
me
a.
to taunt him?
I mean, I'm just as.
I mean,
guess,
it was clearly a taunt, but I don't know if I was going for it mechanically. It was clearly, that was like a
Right.
wink to the audience. I'm sleeping with his mother. Wink.
Exactly. Okay. We'll leave it there. He's being, you know what? He's being held back by his.
I mean, I don't know if he
companions.
knows that that's a burn. That's
That's also true.
That's a burn for me.
It seems like he's I mean, he's already very pissed off. Any implication that you're sleeping
There's
with his
generally
mom.
one way for him to take it, so...
Exactly. He would be pissed off even if he doesn't believe it's true, and he probably doesn't believe it's true, but I don't remember if he's seen... It depends on what he's seen at court, so... The fact that it is true is real rough, but okay. Yeah, let's leave it there. I think, Gar, you've already poked the hornet's nest enough for one session.
Honestly, not what I intended when I went up there, but expected.
Yeah, I mean,
I was hoping I could make amends with this guy, but I also expected to get a beatdown if I went up there, so...
it was a risk. And you know what? In this case, it did not necessarily pay off, but you're walking away with your life and no real permanent damage, so that's good too.
And a fun little story to actually talk to his mother and father about.
Right? Yeah. Okay. All right, so you meet up with the rest of the camp. Are you guys camping here tonight and then going to try to make your way up the wall tomorrow when
Right, we were camping like a mile up the road just to kind of avoid any conflict. So we're resting there and then going up the next night or tomorrow.
next day? Yeah.
It's going to be a good hike. We're looking forward to a swift ascent.